Welcome back, everyone. It's Tuesday here on the HN Network, The Drive. We're so happy that we can spend this hour together with you. The Drive is about people, places, ideas, and organizations that move us forward mindfully and consciously. And we like to start off every hour on Tuesday with a mindful minute. Today we're talking about 3 things that you can do to shift your energy. 1, step away from the attachment of the outcome. In other words, if you've been working on something for a long time, maybe let go of the attachment and let it evolve. The second one would be find laughter. If you can't find a little humor in life and what you're doing, it won't help you to move forward. And the third thing is move your body. And that might mean parking your car a little bit further away from your destination. It might mean taking the stairs. It might mean doing yoga. It might be working out to be an Olympian, but move your body. And so if you keep those kind of things in mind this week, hopefully what we learned today from Dr. Bev will even propel us further. So I'd like to introduce you to today's guest, Dr. Beverly Marr, who's been on our show before, but coming to us with some of her aha moments today.
Yes.
And for those of you that read my promotion, I said, Dr. Bev seems like she does everything in a nanosecond, but it's always truly within her time and her space. And so as we want to help our viewers today move forward, we like to share the aha moments of the people that come on, what their life looked like before, after the aha moment, and what they've done to propel themselves forward. Because, you know, as we were joking before we went on the air, we said, oh, everyone thinks Facebook was an overnight sensation. But it really wasn't. It was, nor Microsoft or any of them.
Right.
It really took some time. So I want to start back with when I met you many years ago. Actually, some of these ideas that you have patented today were in development. Right. But I was really mesmerized by your story of before you were a doctor, you were an interior designer.
That's correct.
So take us back, because I want everybody to see your transitions and your transformations so that they know they could possibly do it too.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, BC, before chiropractic, I was an interior designer, and I did some really nice commercial work in the Boston area. I lived up in Newburyport, Massachusetts, and had a new son. My husband died suddenly. My first husband died suddenly. And so I was really at a loss in my life.
Right.
I didn't know what the heck I was going to do. But I knew that what I had done wasn't correct for me. I sort of had always played around with being a doctor, and so I did do a survey and went to all the doctors that I knew. Some of them were clients and some were friends, with a certain number of questions, and asked everybody the same questions. And by far, I didn't even know what chiropractic was or what chiropractors did, but they seemed to be the happiest, and that's what I was going for.
So when you said you kind of knew you weren't in the right place with interior design, what was that like? Because I think a lot of people are stuck in their jobs or stuck where they are, and they say, you know, I'm not feeling it, but I need the paycheck.
Right.
I know there's something over there on the other side.
Right.
What was that? Was it the unfortunate sudden loss of your husband?
Yeah, it really was, because up to that point I really never considered the fact that if you throw enough money at it, the problem will go away. But this problem couldn't go away. So I remember having a conversation with a doctor actually in Long Island who said, look, you have to understand that I don't really care if you have as much money as Ross Perot. This man is going to be dead in 6 months. You have to deal with that.
Right.
Up to that point, I really had never really faced any problems. So I didn't really see any problem as a real problem. Not that I had, you know, a lot of money or anything like that, because I didn't. But I always sort of felt that, you know, I could buy my way out of it or work toward it. And I came to a situation where there's no way. I was not working my way out of that. So that was an aha moment for me. That was a transformational second.
Yeah, wow, that can do it to you.
Absolutely rocked me back on my heels. So I was in Florida visiting my dad, sitting on a beach thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do here? I have this young son. I have full responsibility of him, nobody else. And then that's when I started thinking about that that maybe I should be a doctor because I met some good ones, but mostly not so good ones.
Okay.
So
you were out to change
I was out to change everything. Well, I was out to be happy. Pretty much that was really what I was looking for.
Satisfied,
fulfilling, having some fulfillment in my life. And so that's when I decided to become a chiropractor. My sister lived in Stratford, and she told me, I had mentioned it to her. I said, not mentioned it, I sort of announced to the family. They were all aghast, and oh my gosh, that was...
You were taking your baby to Stratford?
Well, not only that, but I was changing my complete career, what was I going to do for money, and how was I going to support my family, et cetera, et cetera. But, per usual, I decide that I'm going to do something, and so with this laser beam focus, maniacal, some people have called it, I decided to jump right in. University of Bridgeport College of Chiropractic had just opened. So I was admitted. I was the second actually class that went in there.
Wow.
Yep, and graduated in 1995, and became, so it's 21 years ago now.
So you've been practicing chiropractic in the Fairfield County area.
Right.
What's the name of the firm?
Stanford Healthcare Associates. Yes.
And the interesting thing, we've talked about it before because we both work with our husbands, is you work with Dr. Chris.
I do.
Who you happen to be married to.
I am.
How's that going?
Well, I'm going to say for the most part it's pretty good. Sometimes it's not so good, but we always have a meeting of the minds, and I respect his opinion, completely, and I trust him. So that works pretty well. I have to say that commuting on the Merritt Parkway, of which I'm on all the time, and we used to commute. A lot
to be desired, doesn't it?
We used to commute together every day, and then. I put a halt to that because I just couldn't take it anymore.
You need a little space.
Oh yeah. So. Yeah.
But the interesting thing is when I work with Troy, people say, "Oh my God, how could you work with your husband?" I say, "But remember the time when you first fell in love?
Yeah.
Right. So why? I don't want to put him in the closet.
Yeah.
Right. I actually enjoy hanging out with him.
Yeah.
It's just that maybe on some business things we differ, and then maybe the fur flies, and then the fur comes back.
Absolutely, exactly correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
I completely agree with you.
So I think we're in unison there. The husband and wife team actually works.
Yes.
Okay, now did he have the same aha moment about this pure posture thing? Which, by the way, guys, that's why she's on today.
Yeah.
She's got an invention, a patented one.
Yes.
Oh, here it is. Look at it.
Yes, there it is.
Oh, yeah, this is fabulous.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about this. Let's just jump ahead. What is this?
Well, this is a orthopedic posture correction device that not only does it help with your posture, but it also alleviates back pain.
Which I've had so much back pain this week, it's ridiculous, because I pulled out a shrub.
Yeah, oh gosh. Well, my husband actually is the one that came up and invented that. He had chronic pain in between his shoulder blades. He's a very strong guy, and doing the work that we do, it's always sort of a forward motion. And I couldn't adjust his back right between his shoulder blades. And of course, doctors don't really always make the best patients, so he would, that was a bit of a problem. And he thought, if I could throw myself over something, then maybe that would do the job. So he went on the quest to find something that would work.
He was just throwing himself over things.
Yeah, so, the tennis balls in the sock and wooden Easter eggs and rolled up yoga mats and all of that kind of thing, and then came across some 2x4 wedges that he put on a board, laid over it, and that was his aha moment. Oh my gosh, this really worked. Uncomfortable it was because it wasn't as it is today, but it did really do the job. His aha moment came way before mine. I thought that, of course the product was good. We brought it after more than 3 years now. Actually, I was looking at an email that we had that was in 2011.
Wow.
And there was some words written about it, in our office, words written about it. So it was even before that. So it's, we always say, 3 years, but it really was a lot longer than 3 years. So he really came to an aha moment way before me, although we used it in our office, and I encouraged all the patients to use it.
To try it, yes.
To try it out.
So he has the aha moment, and this often happens in our business too. One of us has the aha moment before the other.
Right.
What was the time before you bought onto that? Because you guys really have a thriving practice as chiropractors.
Yes.
And you do a lot more than just the standard chiropractor, if I may give you a little plug. I mean,
thank you.
I mean, you are a ballroom dancer,
Yes.
your husband is athletic,
Yeah.
and you use your chiropractic in all areas of life.
That's correct. Yeah,
Right.
we really do.
So what made you come along?
Well,
What was the aha for you?
oh, the aha, I remember it specifically. It's not that I didn't think that the product worked, because I could see it, you know,
Right.
and we do before and after pictures, et cetera, and we would take it out to health fairs, et cetera, to try it on unsuspecting people walking by. Hey, want to come on over and try this? And then really we were there to promote our practice, not really the product itself.
Right.
So we had 2 or 3 of them set up in the office, and all of our patients, we encouraged every single person to use it. When we got it patented, when finally the patent came through last September, almost a year ago now, we were able to start selling the product. So it was going along okay, you know, we were selling some of them, et cetera, but we didn't, I knew that if we were going to do something with this product, you know, we had to be, or one person really had to devote a lot of time to it, and that was it. It was either going to happen or it wasn't.
So that was the aha?
It was on a Sunday morning, first week in November. We were out hiking in the trails in Trumbull, and I said to Chris, I know all the reasons why I shouldn't take on Pure Posture as my full thing here. You need to convince me why I should do that. Give me your best argument.
And tricky and good.
He laid out a great argument.
What was it?
It was, this is new, this is innovative, this can help hundreds of thousands of people. We know it works. This is an exciting time. Just think about all the work that you can do with this. So that really was my aha moment.
Did you get afraid when he gave you such an endorsement to go fly with it?
You know, it's interesting because initially I was like, that's a great argument. I'm going to do that. I can do this. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to be 100% committed. 2 months from now, I'm really going to give up my patient load, and I am going to 100% put my effort into Pure Posture. Of course, the next morning I woke up and thought, oh, are you out of your mind? There's no way.
It's the delay after the aha moment.
That's the hangover of the decision. So yeah, it was pretty intense, and I was absolutely terrified as to my career, really.
That is a perfect segue into our break, everyone. We're going to come back after the commercial, and obviously she's no longer terrified because she's here to tell us all about it. How you, in fact, can move forward through anything you're thinking about doing, trying, and with a little bit of help and encouragement.
Yes.
So stay tuned. It's The Drive, live every Tuesday here on the HN Network, moving you forward mindfully and consciously. It's how you fuel your mind, your body, your spirit that creates your lifestyle. No better person than Dr. Bev to help us. See you in about a minute.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. New Canaan is 6 minutes down the road. New Canaan's a beautiful little town to walk around. I work in Westport. My commute is 20 minutes. It's close to Westchester where my family is, so the location is ideal. There is no other townhome that compares in the area. This is where I want to be.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened. Grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with a Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
For more than 50 years, Triple S has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, Triple S will get the job done fast, big or small. At Triple S, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning. Find us at triplesclean.com or 203-847-8000.
You're watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. More than 1.5 million viewers have watched our live sports, news, and entertainment broadcasting since the network launched in August 2015. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
If you're just tuning in, it's The Drive, live here on HN Network every Tuesday with Denise DiGrigoli. And we seek to move you forward mindfully and consciously with ideas and organizations and people that can do that. No better person today than Dr. Bev, who has transitioned through so many aha moments and is talking to us about her Pure Posture patented
Right.
posture board.
That's right.
Works with her husband, and you know I love that. And we left at segment 1 talking about how your husband kind of gave you the shove. Yes, it's time for you to just take over Pure Posture, leave the practice, the family business,
Right.
and I feel that fear.
Oh,
And go for it because you are the best at it.
right.
And we left, and you said, I felt terrified. I know you're not a terrified person, though. So for people that are watching, that are like, oh my gosh, I need to make a change in my life,
Yes.
and I feel it on the tip of my tongue. I need that extra kick.
Right.
What do you tell them?
I say you need to just go for it.
Go
and
for it.
understand
Fearlessly. Whether you
fearlessly.
have the 6 months savings or not, you know, all the golden rules.
Do it.
Do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Take one step at a time.
One baby step.
And and no doubt about it. You know, there's so many great ideas out there, and most people don't ever follow through on those great ideas because they're so fearful. And believe me, I know that fear. The waking up in the middle of the night thinking, oh my God, you must be out of your mind
Right.
to do something like that. And for me particularly, I mean, it took me a year of pre-med, 4 years of school, and 21 years or 20 years of practice. And all of a sudden, you know, in the course of 2 months, boom, I'm going to give that up.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a huge decision for me to make. And I identified myself as a chiropractor and what I did. And so I knew with Pure Posture I was embarking on an e-commerce kind of business, not brick and mortar store. People aren't going to come into me. I'm going to be sending the product out there, which was absolutely.
And you're used to, you know, hands-on, tactical, I make you feel better. You
Absolutely.
leave, and you're great.
Right.
And now you're
Right.
kind of losing that control.
Losing the control, and also just other than me purchasing things online, I mean, I certainly was no IT person, so I really didn't know what the heck I was doing either. So there was the other little caveat. I thought the first of the year, January, was January 1, boom, that's me. I am now Pure Posture. And so
So you gave yourself a deadline,
I gave myself a deadline.
and you stuck to it.
Yeah, pretty much. Honestly, I'm going to say that almost every life decision that I've ever made, I have given myself a deadline, and it's usually 2 or 3 months in advance, and I say, at this point in time, that's it. No more of that, only this.
Wow, I
And-
need to do that with my diet.
Yeah, that really helps a lot. I found it's worked for me in many ways. and then from that moment on, you go forward. So the first week in January, right after the holidays, I'm sitting in front of my computer thinking, oh my God.
What did I get into?
What do I do first? Okay,
Yeah.
we already had a patent, and Chris was so good in that he pushed it through. It took 2 years or probably about 2 years to get all of the wording right and revisions, et cetera, and then we submitted it in and it instantly went in. So that was great. Yeah, there's really nothing like it on the market. So that was, I'm not going to say the easiest part of the project because he bristles every time I say that. So I didn't really say that, but so we had that, and of course I've been in business for a long time. So I knew what we needed. We needed to have some kind of a market share. We needed to have, really good website development.
Your website's gorgeous.
Oh, thanks. That is actually the one that's up now is the second one. We went live with the first one in March and realized in July that we needed to really change that. As aesthetically pleasing as the first one was, it really didn't tell the story. Right. And so we had to really change that up. I knew a bit about Google AdWords. I knew a bit about what a website really needed to look like. Did I have skill one to do that? Absolutely not. So I worked with a developer. The platform for our website is Shopify, and they have gurus, which was very, very helpful to me.
Shopify is excellent, yes.
Yeah, it really is. But I have to say, I have 2 computers on my desk. One I'm actively working on, and the other one is on YouTube. So
yeah.
I would get a question as, what is a URL? And I would go to and Google, what is a URL? So it really went that way. And
so you're a very learned person. I want everyone to hear that watches us to know, like, you gotta put some skin in the game too.
Absolutely.
You've got to take initiative, right? You didn't know, you looked it up.
Yeah.
In the old days, I won't date myself, right? We went to the encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Now there's really no excuse not to know.
Oh my gosh.
Because you've just got to sift through what's really true and not true, but it's all there.
Thank God for YouTube and Google.
And Google.
Really, pretty much anything that you want to know, you can really get it. I know that some of the IT people that I did work with, I could hear it in their voice on the phone. Oh, their eyeballs were rolling. And so I remember saying to one of them, okay, all right, look, you know about this, but let's talk about ankylosing spondylitis. What are your opinions about treatments and symptoms on that? So it kind of took this IT person back up a little bit and sort of said, okay, I may know a lot about this, but she knows
But
about
she can
this.
fix my ankle. I
That's
better not
right.
mess with her. I need that more.
That's right. So, and I would forget that also, doing this IT thing. I would forget, oh my God, I don't really know anything about this. The kids are brought up with a smartphone in their hand, and, I can, anyway. I have to say that my skills have gotten significantly better in the last 6 months. Absolutely needed to. Yeah.
So you've got yourself moving forward. You're in your office. You've got your new website.
Right.
And what I've really found interesting, because I'm pretty learned myself. I'm always looking. I'm always learning.
Right.
But I didn't know about the grommet.
Oh, yes.
And when you told me about the grommet, I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we do watch Shark Tank. I'm sort of a serial entrepreneur, and I'm not always fond about some of the way they deliver their messages to the people.
Yes.
But when I looked at the grommet's website, I thought, and I love socially conscious, conscious capitalism, business with a purpose, mindful living. It's right up my alley. So tell me about the grommet. Oh, there's the logo. We're giving them a little plug. And this is a non-paid plug, folks.
Yeah, there is a very cool site.
How did you find them?
Well, many patients had said, oh, you need to put this on Shark Tank. This is amazing, blah, 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 blah. And a friend of mine who is also an entrepreneur has a great clothing line and has developed two actual clothing lines that are just now getting steam. I was telling her that, I'm going to make an application to Shark Tank. And she said, well, that would be good, but very smart lady. And she said, but, have you ever checked out the grommet? And I would, no. This was, I think, in March. And so I looked on the grommet and thought, wow, I've never really seen this site before. They bring new innovative products to the marketplace, and they have criteria. And so some of the criteria would be, has to be made in the United States. It has to be handcrafted.
Love that.
Right. It has to be socially conscious. It has to be crowd-funded. It has to be underrepresented. There are 7 criteria. And so I knew we fit into 5 of those categories. So I emailed them, just emailed them and said, hey, you know, I do fit into 5 of your 7 criteria, and you know, I'd like to, you know, maybe go forward with this. She, within a week, I got an email back saying, yeah, what's your website? Oh, well, the website's not live yet, but as soon as it becomes live, I'll send you a password to get in.
Yeah.
So a little premature on that, which is, you know, fairly typical of me in that regard. So when it did go live, I sent her the password. She went in, she looked, and said, and emailed me back and said, "Why don't you send me a product?"
Wow.
Try it out. I said, "Great, I'll do that." And we sent it out. She got it. She got it and said, "Well, what do you do with this?" And I said, "Well, there is a video how-to on the website, so you can check that out." But you know, try it out for a week and just, you know, follow the recommendation. You know, I'll talk with you in a week. 3 days later, she called me on the phone and said, "We want to launch you." I was like, ah, awesome.
She must have liked the outcome of laying on that board.
Absolutely, yeah. So I was totally psyched at that point. Oh my gosh, we're going to be launched by the grommet, and mentioned it to, you know, a number of people. Oh, well, what's that? Why aren't you going to do Shark Tank? Blah 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 blah. And as the grommet said, we're like the grommet, but we're not mean. So I like that too.
That's what I like about it too.
Yeah.
So if you're on one, do they not allow you to be on the other?
The only real requirement is that they don't want you to launch on the internet, on e-commerce.
Okay.
With another company that's competing. They've launched some amazing products, Fitbit, SodaStream, and Alex
they launched
and Annie.
Fitbit?
They did, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and some very, very big names. That those companies went from 0 to 400 million, being traded on the, you know, 8 years later or 7 years later on.
So the grommet's been around a while.
The grommet has been around for a while.
So you launched yesterday on the grommet.
Yep, yesterday was our launch day. Extremely stressful as we were live to answer the questions. And so both Chris and I were answering the questions. So the energy was pretty intense because we have to answer not as doctors really, because we can't give any kind of medical advice. Okay.
So you're answering as the patented inventor.
That's correct. Okay, and so
You find that delineation hard?
a little difficult. I think Chris might find it a little bit harder than me because he still treats patients. All right, 3 days a week. I actually treated a patient today, but he's really taking the lion's share of treating patients. So, you know, for me, as I've been working with this over the last 8 months, I've been able to sort of separate myself off a little bit, and I'm very cautious not to give medical advice, to sort of say, you know, if you have this particular situation, you might want to see your primary care doctor first.
Then try it out.
Right.
So, you know, not to make it too infomercially, but tell us what the product does. You'll have to come back and demo it another time. I know it's all over right now, working on the grommet and being reviewed and sought after, but you know, tell us about it, because I think it's there's a lot that goes into a patented invention.
Yes.
And tell us the technology that makes it so unique, that you got that patent like that.
Right. Well, the product was designed to stretch ligaments, specific ligaments and tendons in the back and on the spine. All right. That's the premise of the product.
Stretch it out.
Stretch it out. Versus just sort of stretching muscles. We're going deeper than that.
So it's beyond my yoga on Sundays.
It's beyond yoga. Oftentimes, when you lie on the board using your own body weight and gravity, you'll get what's called cavitations in your back, little pops on your back. Okay, and that's what we want to see and hear.
Yes.
Okay. With a chiropractic adjustment, when you hear that crunching or popping noise, it freaks a lot of people out. But a lot of people patients are looking for that, oh, I just need that pop in my back.
Right.
Okay. So this does it in a different way in that with the chiropractic adjustment, it's a short, quick lever, boom, and it pops. With pure posture, it's more of a sustained stretch. One segment of the vertebra will be up on top of the riser, and the next segment will be down below the riser. So there's where you get the stretch. It can be used by pretty much everybody, too. It's customizable in that we have different sizes. So not everybody is built the same way. There's a difference between a 25-year-old triathlete, all right, and a 50-year-old couch potato. All right, so not all bodies are made the same. So we had to address, designing this, a board that would universally fit pretty much everyone. Okay, we had to have the risers, the specific size and shape that were comfortable but yet effective, that would really take care of their the need there. The finish itself had to be really smooth so that anyone lying on the board, especially with stretchy material, didn't get snagged, and you have to be able to sort of slide up and down on the board. The edges had to be specifically smooth. I mean, there was a lot of engineering. It really took us, it took us now, I'm going to say 5 years to get that product, so it's the product that it is today.
So guys, listen, we have to take another commercial break, and while we're off, I want you to check out pureposture.net or .com?
.net,
pureposture.net, and there is a fabulous video. When we come back, we're going to talk about the ebook that's there for your enjoyment, and 5 things you can do before you get out of bed in the morning to make you super fabulous. And we're going to hear all about where Dr. Bev is going with her aha moment now that it seems to have launched and the ship is a sail. Okay, it's Denise live on HN every Tuesday. We're so thankful that you've joined us for this hour. If you like it, please share it, and if you'd like to be a guest, connect with us on HAN Network CT. Thanks so much.
Have a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Warm weather, light breezes, boats are in the water. There's no better place to celebrate summer than the Dock Shop. Whether in Darien at 51 Tokenique Road or Westport at 609 Riverside Avenue, the Dock Shop is where you'll find everything you need to kick off summer. From the latest summer apparel to the newest fishing tackle, the Dock Shop will help you get the most out of your next beach day or harbor cruise. At the Dock Shop, you'll find a wonderful selection of items made in the USA and right here in New England, all with a distinct nautical flair. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the coastal lifestyle, this is a unique place to shop. DockShop.com.
Hi, this is Leo Carl from Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan, and you've heard me talk about the Chevy Volt for years. The new model gets 53 miles on EV charge daily, plus 420-mile full range. But don't take my word for it. You need to come in and test drive the Volt yourself. Visit us at 261 Elm Street in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
When it comes to local entertainment, we've got it all.
From movies, local artists, etiquette, and more.
Watch HAN Arts and Leisure every Thursday at 2 on the HAN Network.
What's happening up in Hartford and what's trending in the Nutmeg State?
Join Kate Chaplinsky
And Josh Fisher
on CT Pulse live Wednesdays at 12:30 to find out.
We talk to the leaders and newsmakers while breaking down the stories you should be paying attention to each week.
With the help of HAN's editorial cartoonist Doug Smith, we take a humorous look at the news of the week. We talk about everything you were told you should avoid bringing up in polite company.
CT Pulse, Wednesdays at 12:30 on the HAN Network.
Give your day a jumpstart with the latest news, sports, weather, and more on Coffee Break, live on the HAN Network, weekdays at 11 a.m. Connecticut news doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break.
From interior designer to holding patents on pure posture, we welcome back Dr. Beverly Marr. Dr. Bev, so tell us, how did you know it worked? Was there testing involved?
We did.
I mean, you don't just go from I'm an interior designer with several aha moments and being a doctor to this fabulous patent with no testing or no. What happened?
Well, we had to really not only did it have to feel good and then the patients really liked it, but we did have to put some kind of a test in there because, you know, we wanted to know if it really worked. So what we did was we would have people, random people, you know, at health fairs, or hey, come on over, why don't you try this new product out? So they were willingly, we'd come over, and we get to get them to stand in profile, and we had a laser level. We have a laser level, which is actually a construction laser level, vertical laser level, that would go through their shoulder vertically, and they would be in profile. So we'd take a picture of them, and then they'd lay on the board for 5 minutes in 5 different locations on the board, and then.
So it's a total of a 5-minute.
Yeah, they can go
stretch.
5 minutes or 10 minutes, something like that. I mean, it's really, you can really do what you want with it after the initial protocol. So, and we'd always say to these people, please don't pose. Just stand like you'd be standing in the line at the bank. So we take the before picture, they would lie on the board, and 5 minutes later we'd put them right back in the same spot. We put that laser level exactly in the same spot of their shoulder and take another picture. So, and then always reveal the picture to them at the same time that we're looking at it as well. So here's you, would you like to see the pictures? Sure, everybody wants to see their pictures. So they'd see the before, and most people really don't like their picture in profile.
Yeah, of course.
And so here's your before, and here's after. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and we have hundreds and hundreds of pictures like that. And the first thing that you really notice is the height difference. People grow anywhere from a half an inch
up, sign me up.
2.5 inches taller. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much virtually everybody. And we have done it on the youngest person, I don't know, 7 years old. The oldest person, 92. I was a little worried about that. But not only was her posture significantly improved, it was crazy, but her daughter bought her one for her, it was actually her 92nd birthday. And she actually calls Chris probably once a month and says, oh, I love this product, thank you so much.
That's
so
so
it's really
awesome.
Great, yeah.
So now, along the way of developing anything, you've got your naysayers.
Yep.
You've got your trepidation.
Yep.
You've got a few obstacles.
Yeah.
Tell us about those, and more importantly, tell us about what you did to get through them. Because I think a lot of people that watch the show, you know, they want to affect change, or they're in the middle of change, and we come up against something, and we like throw up our hands and we walk away. Or we go back to our regular jobs or our comfort zone or whatever. What did you do? What happened?
Well, you know, there was always going to be naysayers. Naysayers. I mean, no matter what it is that you're doing, it's very unusual to have 100%. You know, I think this is a great idea. You know, the naysayers that we had were pretty much those people who would say, well, this design has to be, you know, redesigned. We need a better, you could use a better design. That was pretty much the naysayer part, because the product just works, you know, and occasionally, and this is extremely occasionally, someone will find, you know, this is too uncomfortable for me. You know, so that's okay. You know, it's not for everybody, I suppose, in that regard. The biggest obstacle is overcoming your own fear, no doubt about it. All right.
That bears repeating. It's more about what we do to ourselves than all the exterior.
What am I thinking? This is never going to work. This can totally be a flop. What happens when it is a flop?
If you've already signed the death paper, right?
Right. Yeah. And
how do we stop that?
Well, you just have to. I 100% buy into the fact that no matter what, it always works out. Always, always, always works out. When you're faced with just really big challenges, you think, oh my gosh, you know, how am I ever going to do this? This is going to happen. Okay, I do have a firm faith and belief that it will always work out. And it works out the way that it should be working out.
So firm faith and belief,
Yeah.
where does that come from?
Just through so many obstacles I've had throughout my life.
So experience.
Through experience, yeah. When facing with just such scary things so many times through my life, and sure enough, I am where I am right now because I am.
You am.
know, right? So it did work out. It always worked out. It always will work out. And I firmly, firmly, firmly believe that.
So belief in self,
yeah,
faith,
yes,
just faith,
yeah,
right? Not
Yeah.
giving the universe instructions, just faith.
yes,
And then what do you do for self-care? Because I always say it starts with self-care,
yeah.
right? And other than
yeah.
Chris adjusting your back, what do
Yeah.
you do?
Well, I'm a ballroom dancer, so I dance, as much as I can. And so that is a serious stress reliever for me. Exercise is key.
Move your body,
Absolutely.
like we said in the beginning
Oh my
of the show.
gosh, it is.
Move it.
Just, yeah. And we hike outside a lot. We're in the woods as much as we can. But, yeah, absolutely moving the body really, really helps a lot. A lot of the big decisions that we've made, we have been out in the woods, huffing and puffing and just
Sort of like had an epiphany.
yeah, well,
That
just-
oxygen will do that to you.
Yeah, it just cleans your brain out,
Yeah.
with fresh air, or just the metabolic process of the blood flowing through really quickly. It also flows through the brain and gives you fresh, new oxygen up there too. Yeah.
So what would you say, because, again, we've got all types of listeners
Yes.
and viewers, what would you say for somebody to take that initial step, whether it be an exercise, leaving a job, starting something new?
Yeah.
What would you say as a doctor, as a person
Yeah.
of great experience, and a person that's very passionate about life?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure people are sitting there going, wow, she made this seem really easy.
Yeah, no,
and
no.
she's just lucky.
Yeah, lucky. It's interesting. The harder I work, the luckier I get.
Imagine those
Something about
mathematics.
Right? So, and as I heard someone say, I think, I can't remember who it is now, they said, it took me 10 years to become an overnight success. All right, so it has a lot of work to do. You have to do a lot of work for it. For me, I think I work really well on deadlines. And of course, I push it right up to that deadline. Okay,
Me too.
why should you, do it 2 weeks beforehand when you can really panic about it the day that it needs to be done? So,
Singing my song.
oh, by golly. So, but I really do need to have deadlines, and so I say, not tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow doesn't ever work for me. I say, October 1. This is what's going to happen. And so I do whatever I want to up to that date.
You
but
give
on
yourself some
that date,
structure.
absolutely.
But that's it.
Yeah, that's the same thing with smoking or going on a diet. I have to stop smoking. I have to stop smoking. Blah blah blah. For forever actually. But I think that once you put a deadline on it and guilt-free up to that date, you do what you want. But up to that date,
That's your secret.
your life is going to change. Boom. Is it going to be scary? No doubt about it. It's going to be difficult? Absolutely, no doubt about it. But and Chris and I say this all the time, when something good has happened to us or our business or whatever, we'll be out at a restaurant and either he or I will say to each other, let's remember this moment.
Yeah. Troy and I do that too.
And let's check and see where we are 1 year from now.
Yeah. That's great.
And
Isn't it always amazing?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think when you're in unison and sync, together we're great, but together we're greater.
Yes.
Right? Alone we're fabulous, but together we're greater.
Absolutely.
And that's not necessarily only husband and wife teams.
No.
That's any team. That's any mentor. That's anybody that supports another person. And that's
Absolutely.
really what the show is about.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm so thankful you've joined us and told us all these great things. We
you
cannot
so
let
much.
ourselves close without knowing the 5 things we need to do before we get out of bed in the morning.
Well, the number one thing that we have to do is wake our back up before we even hit the.
How are we waking our back up?
Laying flat on your back.
You're in your bed.
You're in your bed.
You're in your bed.
You bring one knee up to your chest with a big exhale. You bring the other knee up to your chest with a big exhale. Both of them
Hug 'em.
exhale, hug them, and then put your arms out to the side, roll one side, then the other side, and then you roll out of bed. Super easy to do. Great.
Wake up that back.
Great for your back. The ebooks are really cool. They're really fun to do. So we have one about 5 stretches for the back before you get out of bed. We have one to get the swagger back in your walk and your hips. Yeah, that's on there as well. We have another one coming up for neck stretches that are.
Okay, guys, so there's these 2 downloadable complimentary ebooks on
Absolutely.
Dr. Bev's new website, pureposture.net.
That's it.
That's essential.
They're great.
And also
Yeah.
you'll find a video and a how-to to use this product. I encourage you to visit the Grommet and check her out.
Yeah.
I also encourage you to check out her website, pureposture.net. And don't forget about her and Dr. Chris's practice, because it certainly helped my back. Oh, there we are. We're showing it. Thank you, Eric.
Yes.
Yeah. So just so everybody knows, there are no paid endorsements on this show. I bring together people, places, ideas, and organizations that I truly believe in, that I know that work, that I've either experienced myself or very good friends and camaraderies and business colleagues have experienced. And I encourage you to come back, Dr. Bev, will you?
Oh,
and tell us
yes.
what happens
Love to.
in a year.
Yes,
In a year.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yes, love to.
All right, everyone, we're going to see you next week on The Drive. It's all things, people, places, ideas, and organizations that move us forward mindfully and consciously. If you've liked what you've seen today, I hope that you'll share it. I hope you'll give us some feedback. Refer yourself or someone you know that might be a fit for the show. You can reach out to me at denise@denisedigrigoli.com or tweet us on Twitter, HAN Network CT. Thanks. We'll see you next week.